Hello and welcome to the today's editorial. I am Dr. Anshu and going to start the today's editorial. So let's have a recap. Covering first page is India China to resume direct flight, issue visas. Second one is Uttarakhand officially rolls out for uniform civil code. Second page covering is exhibitors from more than 50 countries to participate in Aero India. France led with largest participation. Mohan led the ISRO's liquid propulsion system unit in Kerala, and the partially damaged scooters finally broke out in electric vehicle showroom on Rajkumar Road. Will FY26 budget reverse the decline in social sector spending? Just wait a minute. Oh, yeah. So moving to the next slide is navigating the growth challenges in Sri Lanka. Sixth is the union budget as a turning point for climate action. Seventh one is covering getting drunk on homeopathy. Ninth one is center deploy the team Pune to tackle spot in Guillain-Barré syndrome. And what is Guillain-Barré syndrome? We will discuss about this. So moving to the next, does the cow urine have anti-infective properties? And last one is the expert panel clears to rebuild the washed away Tista Dam in Sikkim, and Gaza's return to war-torn north has Israeli lift closer. So coming back to the front page, maybe the today's editorial are more than 2, 3, 4 text and opinions also, and the news are headlines are more. So I covered in 12 slides. So just but I will try to complete in within 30-40 minutes. So let's start with today's editorial. It's about the India China to resume a direct flight issues visa. So it's about 3 months after negotiating end standoff at line of actual control LAC, and the measure to resume the direct flight visas, a number of exchanges, and Mansarovar Yatra for pilgrims this summer. They agreed to resume the dialogue on trans-border rivers and sharing the hydrological China within the held years. So the both sides are committed for 75 years, and there is a Chinese foreign minister Wang Yi called for the end to mutual suspension and estrangement. So there is an agreement between the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping at their meeting in Kazan that was held in October. It's about the India-China's bilateral relation and comprehensively agreed to take people-centric steps to stabilize and rebuild the ties. The Ministry of External Affairs. So it was the direct flight between India and China, Mansarovar pilgrimage summer 2025, and it's about the discussion about the construction of hydropower project Yarlung Jangpo have raised concerns in Delhi. So the moving to the next is Uttarakhand officially rolls the out uniform civil code. So basically what is uniform civil code? UCC deals with there is an equal law for marriage, divorce, education for both communities. So here the UCC passed the state assembly last year in February as bans the practice such as halal, idat and talaq customs and the divorce in Muslim personal law. So it ensures that it is a given women are given equal rights in matter related to property and hindrance. So the portal was launch. It was ucc.uk.government.in, and people can access a record registered complaints and upload their bill on portal. So moving to the next, it is a confident about like God like citizen, and it is 1 point left here is it is 20 content is available in 22 languages including English also. So the moving to the next slide, is the exhibitor of more than 50 countries to participate in Aero India. France led with largest participation. So basically, its expo is going to be held in India, and the many leading France countries will coming. Like France will be the largest participation. There is a second one is USA, and third one is about the Germany, and many other countries like also followed by Italy, Russia, UK, Israel. So basically here is an exhibition about the Aero India, which shows the like there is exhibitor with 27 companies registering to the included here the among aircraft there's static display and participation of fixed and rotary wing platforms developed HL, and also so the participation of foreign aircraft like F-35A lighting, 2 US aircraft. So it is MRF deal with participation of global aircraft manufacturer who are going to be to 140 multi-role fighter aircraft, and there is issued a request for information RFI for 114 MRF in April 2019. So there is over 100 countries going to participate in 2023 edition. It was participated, and here the 7 of Viksit over 250 MU's partnership and 75 crore and penalized during the show. So it's over 250 MUs and 75,000 crore were finalized during year show. So the moving to the next is ashes and dust, partially damaged scooters and electric vehicle is common show room on Rajkumar Road at Rajaji Nagar in Bangalore on Monday. This is a fire broke out in electric vehicles, and is a Mohan to the head ISRO liquid propulsion system unit in Kerala. So the ISRO is appointed the M Mohan as a LPSC director in the Trivandrum, Kerala, and he succeeded V Narayan, who took over as ISRO chairman earlier month. Mr. Mohan is currently director project at Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, and ISRO issued his appointment order on January 25. So the Mr. Mohan was the director of Human Space Flight Center from June 2023 to June 2024. So the director of VSSC research developed the project director of Geno Synchronous Satellite GSLV, and the successful mission director of successful GSAT 6A GSLV F11. She was also in a system of Moon Impact Probe project and Chandrayaan 1 mission. He hails Alfuza. So here the fiscal year 26 budget reversed the decline in social sector spending. So the union budget get allocated for a social sector decline rapidly in recent year, and data shows the schemes, most of the schemes under the rural development, social welfare heads. So the table 1 here shows that the allocation for various social sectors such as total budget, expenditure on health share and total on health, total budget declined from 2.47 to 2.2%. Fiscal year 18 to 22. This fiscal year 18 to 22 shows a period of to 1.85% to 1.75% in fiscal year 2023-25 period. So the share of total budget allocated to the Ministry of Rural Development did not cross the mark of 6%. So the fiscal year 18, the share of total budget allocated to Ministry to Rural Development did not cross 6%. It's 6% mark in the last 3 years. Similarly, allocation of higher education as a share of total budget declining from the 1.57%, 1.37 range. This is a range. Here it is a range given. So the Ministry of allocation for school education declined from 2.18% to range is 1.96% to 1.61%, and allocation for social welfare scheme declined from 1.89% to 1.61%, range from 1.17 to 0.97% in same period. It's here the 1.892, it's 0.97%. So basically the table 2 shows the allocations of various social sector, like the total, notably the allocation schemes such as Mahatma Gandhi Manrega, it's a national ruler Manrega. So here the it that introduces under the UPA government. UPA government has declined significantly over time. Like 86,000 crore budget estimate allocated for Manregas for the 24-25 formed 1.78% of total budget, a 10-year low. So the latest data shows that the Rural Development Ministry was 4315 crore, which result in the delay in the disturbance of wages to the Manrega's workers. So basically here the share of total budget range is 1.21% to 0.3%, and fiscal year 19 to 0.2%. So the allocation of Pradhan Mantri Poshan Shakti Nirman, PM Poshan, it's PM Poshan, share a decline in 0.26% share in fiscal year budget 25. So the lowest in last 9 years, except fiscal year 24 revised estimate. The primary objective scheme is to improve the nutritional status of children from studying in class 1 to 8. It was also known as midday meal in schools. So there are some exceptions to this trend, like Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, PMJ. PMJ, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, PMAY, and PM Shri. As a share of total budget were increasing, and notably all schemes were launched in post 2014. So with the budget of next financial year to be presented on Feb 1, the crucial to examine the declining allocations. The sector has undergo umbrella host important schemes. Table 3 here shows that the heads under social sector, the number of table correspond to scheme expenditure. For instance, there is 33% of health budget. 33% is health budget, that went to flexible pool to 20.6%. Was allocated to autonomous bodies such as AIMS. So AIMS and Manrega's went to 30% to PMJ ruler. It's Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana for ruler. So here is just about flexible pools, autonomous bodies 20.6, PM ruler 20.6, school education, the total allocation of fiscal year 25 in percent areas. So the moving to the next is navigating the growth challenges in Sri Lanka. So the Sri Lanka New People's Power NPP government, led by charismatic president Anurag Kumar Disyanke, entered in the office in late 2024. So the Sri Lanka is on the precipice on both opportunity and risking the balances growth in debt sustainability. Sri Lanka's recent economic looked the cautious optimism, and thanks to the prudent monetary financial stability, Central Bank of Sri Lanka has $3 billion International Monetary Fund program and $4 billion for Indian aid economy appear. 17.5 billion reaches with a private bond holder, and desperately needed Sri Lanka the breathing room desperately needed while inflows for tourism accelerated. So the internal challenges is like a brain drain involving as many 3 lakh people from Sri Lanka in 2024 alone. These waves include educated IT, banking, marketing, medical professionals migrating for better job opportunities abroad and a future for their children. So this is a serious challenge for business governance as the country faces a growing gap in talent pool and needed to propel the growth. At same time, the new government parliament with little experience about the 225 MPs, 150 are untested for first time, and NPP raises the question about the legislative technical. So they're retaining the key talent within the state sector. Like tourism here offers significant potential growth, potential foreign exchange reserves. 2 million tourists visited Sri Lanka in 2024 and 38% increase in 2023. Basically, it's about the growth challenges that is uh, having in Sri Lanka, like what is the tourism sector, what there is so much brain drain, people's migrating from that led to the challenges in that country. And also the tourism here boosts the foreign exchange reserve, and also the better marketing of Sri Lanka as a multicultural destinations coupled with targeted development, small business linked to tourism activities. So what the external factors is like, addition to the internal challenges, there are also foreign policy is critical, like geopolitics of Indo-Pacific are set to dramatically following the re-election of President Donald Trump in US. India has emerged as a key player in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka benefits from Indian invest in collaborations. Collaborations, and the India's late 2024 offer a promising foundation of the stronger government. So here the capital external debt starting in mid 2027 if it unable to generate sufficient foreign exchange trade through the trade-led growth, working in partnership. IMF and World Bank studied for help. The Sri Lankan government must develop a comprehensive opportunities. Navigating this choppy water will require a pragmatic leadership, bold policy decision, and the clear vision of Sri Lanka's future process. So the national budget in February offers opportunity to make start. So these are the some challenges and what are the solutions. The writer is just talking about this. So moving to the next. It's a union budget, a turning point for climate action. So here is the all eyes will be on the Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman when she takes the centrist on February 1 to present the union budget. So what are the national grapples increasing the frequency extreme? Fiscal year 26 budget. Fiscal year 26 budget carries the weight of both urgency and opportunity and net zero target. The budget must take a decisive step to protect the front lines of climate change. So the previous budget demonstrated the government commitment to climate action. Many initiatives like PM Surya, Muft Bijli Yojana, support for electric, some schemes, and the viability gap for funding offensive wind energy and increased allocation for national green hydrogen mission. Yet the total renewable energy is 203.18 gigawatt. For short 2013 target is 500 gigawatt. So this is accelerated investment and policy supported imperative. So there is so much work to be done. Like first is to accelerate the India's green transition. PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana needs a comprehensive review. While such schemes surrounds the 1.45 crore registration and completion rate is 6.34 like installation. It means there is only 4.37% indicates the presence of significant implementation gap. So here it's about also the RESCO renewable energy source model. And in second instance, budget must expand the scope of production PLI across the solar modules, supply demand, and 40% current requirement. 65% is higher, 65% for higher manufactured panels. Third instance, India's vast railways network offered a generation untapped potential for renewable energy generation. It's a 5 watt of solar and wind installation. So EU mechanism in India is like second European Union carbon border adjustment CBM. Its CBM is January 1 2026. Necessity is urgent. India's total export of CBM is $8.22 billion and forces to face a carbon resist from 20% to 50%. MSME contribution is 30% of GDP and 45% of export. So the budget can establish a dedicated climate action funds and Japan Green Transformation GX fund for industry decarbonization. Third is the budget must accelerate the India's transition circular economy. Like a recent study of Council Energy Environment Water Study estimate the benefit of adopting a circular economy of annual profit is 40 lakh. India's by 250 reducing greenhouse gas emission by 44%. So the reduction of 150% investment of recycling infrastructure, here it is written. So the depreciation benefit for circular economy assets encourage the business to grow. So on the insurance product is strong need to strengthen the climate resilience. India's declined annual report declined 4% in fiscal year 2023 and 3.7% in 24. So the finally some state indicate the standardizing green finance. It's a green finance, like India helped to get 162.5 trillion needed to achieve the nationally determined contribution. The budget can further catalyze this transition by introducing a tax treatment, taxonomy aligned investment. So the writer was giving the both opinions, what are the still the actions can be taken and what are the budgets can be improved much better. The climate link economic policies are no longer peripheral but the central to maintaining the competitive international trade, investment, low goods, increasing alignment, capital market, fiscal framework. So the budget will need a signal for seriousness government intended in this regard. So moving to the next. Getting drunk on homeopathy, it is an important article from the science point of view, and also there is a yesterday 3 days earlier about the conflict between the Bhagwati Medical College Center drug administrator cases about the can a homeopathic doctor can give the allopathy medicines, and it's about the how much the contents of alcohol in homeopathy medicines. So let's have a overview. So in the recent judgment of Supreme Court of India, Bhagwati Medical Central Drug Standard Control Organization, here's the significant public health hazard that was posed by alcoholic infrastructure market in India. So the regulatory maze was that texture of tincture, which are liquid extract of herb dissolved in alcohol as per Schedule 7. The only state in legislation relation to the public health and taxation of alcohol. Like entry 84 of list 1 allowed the union to decide the rate of taxation. In pre-good GST era, there is a 4%, there is a tax at 4% repealed in Medical Act 1955. The purpose is that alcohol is meant for medicinal purposes is not clear since exception created for alcohol meant medicine. Entry 84. Union has prescribed 80% tax rate for alcohol meant for medicinal purposes, which still significantly lower than the alcoholic beverages. Like third aspect is regulatory architecture. It means both union and state can enact law on law, but since the Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940, homeopathic product states needs to presidential approval for state specific amendments. So the complex regulatory structure of homeopathy alcoholic has historically been immune from inequality regulation, like is again responsible for states for as per list 2 of Schedule 7. Differences in taxation rate of for alcoholic tinctures such as solid homeopathic remedies and alcoholic beverages. So here is the act permits, the Drug and Cosmetic Act permits the 12% alcohol by volume. 12% is the most popular varieties. For comparison, the most popular varieties of strong beer is sold in India generally contain 12%. Sorry, it's 7%. State government had viewed the issue primarily through the lens of revenue loss who consume homeopathy alcoholic tinctures as a substitute for alcoholic beverages. The tax at higher rate. The loss of revenue was the reason of administrative actions under the section 22 of drug and alcohols. So here about the alcoholic tinctures, state have no ability to regulate the alcoholic tinctures. They are required to permit with the sale of this product, even if the state law prohibits the sale of alcoholic beverages. Like in Gujarat and Bihar, both states had reported the strings of death for those who consume homeopathic remedies containing spurious alcohol. So the public health objective of these state provisions have been frustrated by union law. The Drugs of Cosmetic Act 1940, but that requires presidential assent. So the illness such as alcoholic hepatitis, parents who was perfectly healthy, Indian doctor have been presenting the symptoms of consistent those demonstrate alcoholics. So the new rules appear to be lacked any scientific basis, like 12% alcohol in bottle of maximum 30 ml. Larger bottle of 100 ml can be sold only to hospitals. So the rule 106B came into force. So the campaign of first round allegation of constitutional validity and 2015 restraining the. So the key question here is about whether the law is should be permit, or when the countries are completing the compulsory cancer warnings, alcoholic beverage. The one thing for the homeopathic and Ayurvedic products is not cure any elements as claimed by the manufacturer, but quite another for them to cause further harm to unsuspecting and poorly informed citizens. So moving to the next slide is, so here the case about it's a Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS, that is happened in the NIMS Bangalore and NIV Pune. Suspected cases report for far, and recovery rate is bacterial rate is very high. So in this we will firstly we understand about what is Guillain-Barré syndrome and how it is threatening. So it is firstly let me cover where it is happened. It's a multidisciplinary team on the confirmed the Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's GBS died in Maharashtra, and there is a cases in the Solapur district in Maharashtra, and NCDC control NIMS Delhi, NIMS Bangalore, and family welfare, NIV Pune, and 3 experts from NIV already support the local authorities. So here the survey includes the 2587 houses and 156 PMC, while the Primri Chindwad Municipal Corporation PMC 60 to 1988 rural Pune was identified with acute diarrhea, dysentery. So here the Health Department, National Institute of Virology, 23 blood sample and 73 stool sample for dengue, chikungunya, and 100, and GBS is very high. Recovery rate for GBS is high, as now 111 cases has appeared, but 10 of reported as suspected cases. So firstly we'll learn about what is GBS and how it is affected. So basically it is a neurological disorder in person where the immune system attack the PNS. Basically PNS control affected the nervous system, that is PNS that is a part of nervous system outside the brain and spinal cord that control the muscle. PNS affected part is PNS of the brain, and PNS controls the nervous system outside the brain and spinal cord. So basically it controls the muscles movement, temperature, touch, pain, and sensations. So in this, what happens in this, when the muscles is not working here, so the first sign, what is the first sign? Basically how it is affected the body. It affected the body, its own immune system attack its own cells, and the immune system destroy the myelin sheath, that is a fatty layer wrapped around the nerve cell. So it impact the nerve ability to send signals to brain, which causes a muscle weakness. So if there is a muscle weakness, then it causes a paralysis of in the body. Like what is the symptoms? Generally what is the symptoms? Tingling, weakness, start in feet, legs before spreading to upper body, arms. Symptoms include the pins and needle feeling in toes, back pain, pain in legs, not able to walk or climb stairs, facial movement and double vision. For some people this can lead to paralysis of legs, arm, or face. Basically it approximately 1/3 of people affected from this, and chest muscles are affected and making it hard to breathe. So, and GBS is life-threatening complication. A GBS will affected when it will affect the ANS system, our autonomic nervous system, which control the blood pressure and heart rate. So basically, how it is treated. Let me just cover. The next article is about this. There is a detail about here. I've already told. So how it is treated is like there is no cure for GBS. Some treatment are aid in recovery. Many people can make never can make a full recovery. Like here, basically, there is include a plasma exchange. Plasma exchange happens, and an intravenous immunoglobulin therapy is given. Therapy in plasma exchange. This is a plasmapheresis. It's plasmapheresis. Plasmapheresis, where the plasma, the liquid part of blood, is removed and treated, then returned to body. The plasma that are attacking the nerves, it removes the antibodies from plasma. And intravenous immunoglobulin therapy involves injecting the body with immunoglobulins, which are proteins, and makes the body to identify and neutralize the pathogens. So this helps to decrease the immune system attack on nerves. So the supportive treatment is also given, like physical rehabilitation, physical and occupational therapy may be required. So WHO says the GBS is a potential life-threatening syndrome and should be treated and monitored, and it can affect it in any age group. Like there is not a category of happens in this specific age group. So but basically dominant male, it is mainly dominant in males. It is mainly affected in adult in males, and condition is rare and estimated. Like it incidence is half per 1 lakh population. So here the cases, about the 73 cases so far in the Union Health Ministry said that 26 women, total 47 men and 26 women have been affected, and 14 ventilator support. Health Ministry said as January 25. So the moving to the next. How does the cow urine have anti-infective? Basically, there was a report about the cow urine treatment medicinal properties. It's what are the paper published by one IIT Madras director V. Karmakatori said the cow urine has antifungal, bacterial, anti-inflammatory properties at Goshala. But what is here writer is telling, the story is about that how the urine can be beneficial for us. Even it is for consumption of human, it can't be like helpful, because it can if a fresh urine is taken, then it can cause a many infectional diseases and causes heart diseases, stones. So here there is two research papers. First one is about it's a peptide formation. So every urine formation contains peptide. Peptide profiling in cow was the first research that was given. So here the Dr. Kamkar said, however, Nature scientific report are two different journals. Independent expert says that it doesn't seem bad, but it's just an analysis of bovine urine. Author says that there is a lot of studies of peptide in human urine, but not work has been done in the case of bovine urine. So the Anklet Suli Associated Professor of Homi Baba said that there is a lot of studies of peptides, and so essentially all mammals passes some peptides in urine, and those peptides give a lot of indications about the health of individual. That's why we do a urine analysis in pathology lab. That is the reason that why we do urine analysis, like they just passing a present analysis of bovine urine. There's no claim beyond it. Like there is a Pabin paper from China discussing the use of cow dung as a fertilizer. Developing a fertilizer from mammal urine etc. is different thing, but for consumption it is like in the first term Dr. Ciolo quoted example of US President Donald as asking scientific in term that during COVID-19 pandemic about alleged benefits of drinking bleach. Just the writer is giving example that during COVID-19 there is also there is a term like drinking bleach, but how the bleach is antibacterial on the floor doesn't mean it is medicinal for humans. So in same way cow urine is beneficial for fertilizer, cow dung, but it can't be beneficial for the use human consumption. So the perfectly reasonable scientific work, although the Gautam Meno, Dean Research of Biology and Physics professor, also said here that perfectly antibiotic effect on standard bacterial species is common things to do. The real result is not particularly surprising. And there's second paper, Dr. Kamoti was referred as benefits of cow urine, and published in International Journal Recent Advances. So the many researchers says that which the use of treatment for skin, stomach diseases, kidney diseases, heart disease, stone, diabetes, jaundice, insulin bioenhancer. These are the some diseases that saying that it can be used for prevention, for treatment of diseases. But consumption of urine, about the Dipsika Chakravarti, a professor of Department of Microbiology, said that the consumption of any urine is detrimental and dangerous, including healthy individual urine also, because the urine contains a resident of bacteria that is can be detrimental. So here it's a grammatical and typographical mistakes in paper indicate journal editors didn't copy edited. So albeit is a conclusive one of low quality publisher. So what the study says like where is about harmful bacteria, like undesirable human consuming urine. There is a 14 types of harmful bacteria. Urine from cow and bulls contain 14 types of harmful bacteria, including E. coli. Thus, urine can inhibit the bacterial growth. Urine can't inhibit the antibacterial growth. Basically, it only get the infected from the bacteria and lead to the life-threatening infection, and also weak the immune system and make you sick. So there's a proponent of drinking cow urine had criticized the study for using fresh urine, while they advocate the consumption of urine distillates. Because there is too risky and full of microbes, no quality control practice. Antimicrobial activity detected hardly, as it consumes a large amount of urine safely to antibacterial action in bodies. So it's about the epidemiology head. Indian Veterinary Research also said the undesirable human consuming cow, that urine consumption of urine, cow urine can't be give a medicinal properties. So moving to the next one, last article is about the expert panel clears the plan to rebuild the worst away Tista and dams in Sikkim, and Gaza returns to war north as the Israel lift closer. So here the outburst of flood in the Sikkim is Tista 3 dam, the state biggest hydropower project. Can be asked as a state piece here. So just that dam is constructed. So the new dam is entirely reportedly to the spillway and capable of manufacturing 946 cubic meters. The project was 7,000 cumex. The project developed in the Sikkim Urja Limited SUL, which has also been asked to implement the warning system. Measuring for the overtopping of dam bridge was the flood gates that not led to the divulge of water debris. Cost factor is that pure concentrate create a rock structure, inherent advantages, and new worst cases meaning the maximum possible rain. In the upstream glaciers, lake repelled by the Indian IMD South Look next 100 year. So Seoul will implement in the upper catchment and working in the gates. And there is a dam project estimated to be 4189 crore, and project was cost in 2017 is 39,965 crore. So as the most of component in ready year, and there is a bringing to proponent. So here the 15-month Gaza strips accommodate Hamas with the fragile ceasefire, and the main road of running were next to the victory for people and declaration of failure and defeat of occupations. There are militant groups launched Hamas on 7 October 2023, which attack on southern Israel, and this is a return was also seen as a reputation of Vice President. The 2 days of war, Israel militant group changed the order of hostages in release of exchange for 100 of Palestinian. Mediator resolved the dispute overnight, and Hamas said the Israel return was victory for our people, a declaration of failure and defeat of Israeli occupation and transfer plans. So that's for today. Now covering almost every articles. Just let's have a quick summary. first page of India China to resume a direct flight, like issues visas. Uttarakhand officially rolls out the uniform civil code. Second one, the exhibitor of more than 15 countries participate in Aero India, with the largest participation of Aero Expo going to hell. The ashes and dust pictures, and the Ishwar Mohan to head the ISRO liquid propulsion system unit in Kerala. Fourth one is about the FY26 budget reverse the decline in social sector spending. Sixth, covering the union budget as a turning point for climate action. Seventh one is covering the getting drunk on homeopathy. Eighth, covering the centers to deploy the Pune of Guillain-Barré syndrome. Ninth one is related to that, about the detail about what is Guillain-Barré syndrome. And 10th is about the how urine have anti-infective properties. Can it be? And 11th one is the Tista Dam in Sikkim and Gaza return for Israel lift closer. So that's for today. Today I will come with a next editorial. Till now, good night, take care and study hard. Good night.